The average car payment in America now, last month we got data that it's now $501 a month is the average. Okay, $500 a month invested from age 30 to age 70 in a decent growth stock mutual fund in a Roth IRA is over $5.6 million. That's what a car payment costs you. It's $5 million over the scope of your life.
You have to take a risk, and that risk was me willing to give him my car keys, and I just met him on TikTok, y'all. He said he was willing to help me out, and I was like, at this point, let me just get the help. And I feel like, low-key, my car payment is due in 4 days, y'all. I have only $2 on my Chase account, y'all. And it's the 15th. My car payment is due on the 19th of every month. And I don't get paid until next week. So it's like, how am I going to even, like, I don't know, y'all. And I don't want to use the GoFundMe money until I get enough to be able to, like, put a chunk of money towards my principal. So I'm just going to leave it up there in my bio. And I just seen some of you guys, she just keeps making dumb decisions after dumb decisions, y'all. I live in Point St. Lucie, Florida. If you know what Point St. Lucie, Florida is, it's like a retirement place where old people come to retire. If I rent my car on Turo, it's most likely not going to get, like, rented out. He lives in Miami, Florida, something like that, y'all. And he was willing to help me out. And I said, okay, Miami's a busy city. He was explaining to me, y'all. He gave me his driver license and everything. He's honestly like a nice person. At the end of the day, I still don't know him like that, but still I'm willing to take the risk. You know what I'm saying? He was willing to help me out. He gave me updates about my car and everything, y'all. I'm going to pick up my car in the beginning of April, y'all. But this month, I really cannot afford my car payments at all. Like, I don't have any options left, and my dad is too greedy. He's not gonna give me the money. He's not gonna give me $1,200 to put towards my car payment, y'all. Like,
y'all, I'm aggravated and I need answers. I need answers right now. How do I get my name off a car loan? I'm the co-signer. They making a payment late. It already dropped down credit like 50 points. My credit, I don't know about theirs, but I know their credit has dropped. How do I just get my name off there? Do they refinance the car? Can we do a voluntary repossession? What happens to our credit then? What happens? Can they refinance the car? No, they can't pay off the car because they owe $14,000. They don't got that. I know if they get a new car loan, their negative equity is going to roll over to the new car loan. The car's not worth $14,000. They'll probably only get $3,000 to $5,000, if that, from the car. So we need help and we need answers right now. Somebody please let me know, because I'm really frustrated and I just really want to get my name off. Like, I'll try helping someone, and yeah, but long story short, y'all, I know somebody done been in the same situation as me, and I'm pretty sure they got out of the same situation. So please let me know. And I'm trying to get off by this weekend. Please. I got too much other shit to be worrying about.
The average new car payment is $800 a month. That's insanity.
Most auto loan places are able to give you the loan that you want by just extending out the term, even if the interest rate's 25%.
Yeah.
It's scary. When you look into auto loans, they're not regulated the same way that student loans are, or with mortgages or even credit cards. Credit card reviews your income in such a way where they're not going to give you too much of a limit, but auto loans are very unregulated. They could sell these off privately without there being a rule out there that says, we can't qualify you for this.
So you need a car, but you ain't got thousands of dollars for no down payment right now. Don't worry, boo. I got you. So the first thing I need you to do is go ahead and find a car you like, okay? So you found you a Honda Accord for $25,000? Bet. So the next thing I need you to do is go to your credit union. It could be Navy Federal or any type of credit union.
Welcome back, and today we're going to be going through car repayments and the absurd amounts that people are paying, and I'll be offering my advice. And please don't take this as financial advice, but I'll try to offer good advice in terms of car repayments. And we're going to be seeing a lot in terms of people who are paying very large amounts and what you can actually do to try to alleviate your pain of car repayments, because I know what you're going through, and I don't waste any more of your time.
I need you to either go on the website or go inside and apply for something called a pre-approval for an auto loan. Okay, listen. The car is $25,000, but I need you to ask for $30,000. The reason why is because you need to give yourself some wiggle room for taxes and fees, and also just in case you want warranties and things like that. So, baby, now you are big money. You got a check in your purse or in your wallet with your name on it for the card that you want. So, we're going to pull up to the dealership. Listen, listen, listen. When you get to the dealership, let them know you got a pre-approval, but don't tell them how much it is. We big money now, okay? So we pulling up to the dealership with our check in our hands, and it's going to be a quick, easy process. Why? Because we got our own finance company.
I don't think this is good. This is good advice. If you cannot afford to pay for a car, or you cannot afford to have a down payment, and you have to go through credit unions to be able to pay off for a car, I think that's a sign that you need something that's more affordable and within your range. And this is how people get into debt. And yeah, I would advise everybody not to take this advice. This is just bad advice on its own.
You don't need to go to the finance department and be cooped up in that room for hours and hours, hoping and praying that one of the 50 finance companies pick you up. You ain't got to go through that. So you in and out, you sign the paperwork, you get your keys, you got the car payments you want, the terms and conditions, everything is the way you want it. Now, I will say that you need a 620 or higher in order for this to work. Don't worry, if you don't have a 620 or higher, comment help in the comment section and I'll meet you in the comments.
But I mean, it's fine and all. You have the money now to buy the car that you want, the car that you cannot afford. At the end of the day, I think there's something that's missing in this video, is that how are you gonna repay back all that money that already you don't afford? You have to try to jump hoops to try to get approval. As much as you're gonna get the car, how you gonna pay it back? And also, cars, if they don't have the maintenance and they don't have the warranty, how you gonna fix that car when it breaks down, and how you gonna maintain it? There's so much that's missing here. Also, you need insurance. How you gonna pay insurance? Because also, the more expensive the car is, you know that the higher you're gonna need to pay in terms of insurance. Let's go through a couple of comments in terms of what happens when you follow this lady's advice and you end up paying so much for a car. So as much as maybe you're not repaying that money towards the dealership, but because this is money that you don't have, you're still gonna need to repay it. So the first comment, you can see that this person says they're surrendering their car because they can no longer afford the repayments. You can see the amount of repayment that they're paying for, and this is just for a Honda. And just look at the amount of money that they're paying per month. So it doesn't help that you'll be busy. Let's say you have an expensive car, you'll be busy flashing for people, but at the end of the day, you can't even afford, maybe you can't even buy food. And you can see here's another lady. She's saying that her and the husband, they will be surrendering their car. And I think this is good advice. If you can see that you can't pay the car, rather than just take it back to the dealership, and the dealership can hand it over to someone else, and someone else can be their problem, so that you can have more money in your pocket and less stress for yourself overall.
Americans seem to love their cars more than anything. This can partially explain the nearly 70% rise in used car prices since the pandemic. This brings us to where we are today, with the average car payment hitting $516 a month for a used car, and then $725 a month on a new car. The average terms for these loans are 5.6 years for the used cars and 5.7 years for the new ones. That is way too long to have a loan on a depreciating asset. On top of that, the average used car is about $26,420, and the average new car is going for $41,000. Even worse, those with non-prime and subprime credit scores have the highest payments of all the groups, as well as the longest debt terms. We're talking about people with credit scores between 580 and 660.
I'm doing fine. Alright, okay, sun keeps coming up each day. See it through my window shades, it's alright. Just passing time, I'll watch it fade. Can't do too much anyways. In this small town, it away, I'm doing fine.
If you have a car payment, you should be making your car payment twice a month, at least twice a month. Like, your car payment is probably due, like mine's due in like the 12th, I think. So normally I used to just pay my car payment on the due date or a couple days before and call it good. And I'm not doing that anymore. I owe $39,000 on my car loan, which is awful, and I totally understand that. And one of my goals in the next 3 years is to get it completely paid off. Really, I'm going to shoot for 2 once I get all my debt paid off. But anyways, why did I make this change? I'm going to now make 2 car payments. We've been making 2 car payments because car loan interest is charged daily, okay? So all I did was take a little gander at my statements, and I realized I was getting charged $11.34 every single day for interest. So when you pay in 2 installments, so you pay half and then pay the other half, you're cutting down on the principal of the loan, I think. Maybe correct me if I'm saying this wrong, wording it wrong. You're cutting down on the principal. Therefore, when you make your next payment, the loan interest that's getting charged every day is going to be less. So make 2 payments instead of 1. And I'm not a lender, I'm not a bank person, I'm literally just somebody that has an expensive car payment.
So let's talk about paying your car twice in a month. I think the downside is that a lot of people, they get paid a salary once, and you know that salary is only going to push you for the variables that you can afford, whether the car repayment, rent, and all those things. But let me tell you in terms of how I did and how I was able to repay my car. So I had financed my car for a period of 6 years, but I ended up paying that car for a period of 4 years, which if I wanted, I could have paid it for a short term, but I wanted to allocate money to somewhere else. So this is how it works in terms of interest rates. So if you have financed your car for 6 years, you don't get that interest rate all at once for the first year. So what happens is that every month when you're repaying your car, there's interest rate that's getting added. So let's say you're supposed to pay $500 towards your car repayment. Every month there might be an extra $150 that's being added for interest rates. So which means you're paying $500 and there's 150 every month that's accumulating, and in a space of 12 months that accumulates to a lot of interest rates. So my advice is that instead of actually paying your car twice, I think that's not realistic advice because people get paid once. How about you add more? So whatever that they suggest that you're supposed to pay, you pay a little bit more extra, which means that you're actually paying the amount that you owe for your car, and also the principal interest that's going to be accumulating every month. And if you pay anything above that interest rate, so it means that that money that was supposed to be towards the interest rate and towards the car, you're actually paying more in terms of the car, the amount that you owe. And at the end of the day, you pay less interest rate and you pay your car in a short space of time. It's almost like you are paying a down payment every month, if I should put it in that sense. So you can pay your car in a short space of time. So that's how I did it, and that's what worked for me. So maybe for you it may be different, but yeah, that's what I found.
What is the highest monthly payment you've ever seen?
It would be $1,700 on a 2021 Ford F-250.
Highest monthly car payment you've ever seen?
Saw $1,300 for a Dodge Ram 3500.
What is the highest monthly car payment you've ever seen?
$2,800 Cadillac Escalade ESV.
Highest monthly payment you've ever seen?
$500 on a 2016 Silverado.
What is the highest monthly car payment you've ever seen?
So far I've seen $900 a month on a 2022 BMW, sold for $52,000.
Highest monthly car payment you've ever seen?
The highest monthly car payment was a physician or doctor out of Duluth, Minnesota. He purchased a all-white G-Wagon from us, and I think it was just shy of $3,000.
Yes, I understand how people can justify paying so much per month towards a car, towards a depreciating assets. I guess everybody does what they need to do with their money, but I, for one, I wouldn't do this.
So back in February, I had decided to voluntarily surrender my vehicle because I realized I was just paying the interest on the car, and after a year and a half of making payments on the loan that was originally for $20,000, I still owed $19,000. So everyone was scaring me. They were like, "Oh, you're gonna have to file for bankruptcy. They're gonna sell that car for like $200 at auction." The car sold for $15,000. So now I only owe the lender $3,700. which is nothing compared to the $19,000 that I originally owed them. And then I got the quote with like the interest rate that will accrue if I don't pay it off right away. And altogether it's going to be like $5,500 compared to $19,000. So if you're in a bad situation and you're thinking about voluntarily surrendering your vehicle, you should probably do it. And I bought a used car, it's 11 years old, it had 102,000 miles on it, and it runs so good. Life is good.
Yeah, I agree with this lady. Surrendering your car and taking it back to the dealership is the best thing that you can ever do, even for your mental health. And yeah, I think we have seen in this video there's a lot of people who are paying a lot for cars, and I think what we're missing is that next time we need to focus on reviewing and making sure that is this payments that we're seeing, is it towards a new car or a used car. I think that's something that we can cover. That would be very interesting to see in terms of how much people are paying. And yeah, I think that's all that I have in store for you today, and I hope that you enjoyed this type of video. And as always, I'll see you same time, same place.
Thank you.